Hi there, welcome to our game night where fun meets friendly rivalry, strategy battles luck, and gamers of all ages can join in for the thrill. I'm Rebecca Collin, your host and your game master. Welcome to this week's episode of House Rules. On this week's episode, we'll play a game night classic, Uno. But first up, let's meet my opponent. From the up-and-coming indie band West Envy, please give a warm welcome to lead singer and guitarist Riley Wilson. Welcome to the show, Riley. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, good. I'm just excited to pretty much just smash you at Uno because I've convinced myself I'm the best player in the world.
Well, got some bad news. I'm actually the 3-time world champion for Uno in a row. So
3 times in a row.
It's been a while since my last game, but
gone for the turkey in the past,
I'm still
have you?
running. The streak's still going.
Fair enough. So let's get started. I will deal us some hands. Do you play 5 or 7 cards?
5 or 7? I think usually I do 5.
5? All right. I'll let you make the call on that one so that I have some power later. Okay. Oh, we can't start with a +2. There we go. All right. Left of the dealer is only option is you. Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
So we'll take it right back to the start. How did you first kind of get into music? What was the moment you knew this was something to take seriously?
Well, I've always sort of myself, like I've always been into music pretty consistently from a young age. Like Dad used to be in a band. He was the lead singer for his band.
Oh, cool.
And so I sort of grew up just jamming out to like Pearl Jam and everything really, from like System of a Down to Bob Dylan and things. And
yeah, classic.
I used to be like, as soon as I could stand, I remember Dad telling me stories. Like I used to just kind of like jump around because he would have like the live CDs of like shows and stuff. I used to just like jump around like a maniac to the music. And
that's so fun.
So that's kind of the grassroots where it started. But the moment I knew I kind of wanted to pursue music as like a full-time thing was coming out of school. I was sort of faced with the oh damn moment where you have to actually be an adult and decide what you're going to do for the rest of your life.
It's tough.
And I was going to just kind of get a job, get a trade and go into that kind of section. But I kind of just had the epiphany and it like hit me all of a sudden. I'm like, well, you've wanted to do music from the age of 3 and never really wanted to actually work a trade. So it's kind of an easy option for me.
Yeah, find what you're passionate about. Follow that, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to someone trying to break into this kind of industry then?
Just courage really is the main thing.
Totally.
The willingness to put a lot of hard work in for pretty much absolutely no immediate gain, and to just keep doing that over and over again. It takes a lot of something, but if you love it enough, then it doesn't really matter. You just kind of keep going. Yeah,
no, totally. There's definitely, I think, just all creative industries, you've really got to be ready for the long game. But enough about the hard stuff. We're all about fun here on House Rules. So what would you say is the most fun part of the musical process for you?
The whole thing really. I mean, there are some not fun sort of parts, you know, tax invoices and things like that. But
totally.
The whole journey is pretty good. You know, just anything from jamming to recording and just like hanging out with the boys and the people that we meet. Like we've met so many amazing guys that have helped us along the way, and you know, we sort of try and return the favor where we can and help out people that are coming after us and stuff.
Yeah, that's really nice. Kind of like not pulling a ladder up behind you, but keeping your hand out for someone else. Totally.
And
All
that's
right.
how the whole scene works. That's kind of why we love it so
Yeah, yeah,
much,
yeah.
because everyone's competing for the same thing, but at the same time, usually everyone sort of helps each other out, and yeah, it's really good.
No, that's hell nice. All right, so let's check in on this game. I'm struggling. I've only put down like 2 cards and I've picked up what feels like a million. How are you going?
Pretty good. I'm probably going to close this one out in a second, considering it's going to
Oh my gosh, I'm so struggling. All right.
You never know, the comeback.
I really came in strong thinking I was going to win this game. And the cards have told me
See,
no.
that's the problem. You thought you were going to win.
I know.
I just knew I was going to win.
shouldn't have. I've jinxed myself or something. The card said, "Shut up, you're too confident." So gigging must be a really huge part of what you do as a band, especially like someone indie like West Envy. Do you have a dream festival or a dream venue that you'd love to perform at?
Yeah, well, we've never really plotted it out, sort of thing, but just kind of the stock standard stuff like Falls Festival or Groove in the Moo or something, would just be like insane.
Yeah.
To play at
Totally.
any of those sort of like bigger festivals, and dream venue. We don't really have a dream venue because, like, I don't know, we've not really put a lot of time into planning out when we're at the stage now where all of our efforts really gone into just recording and kind of looking far ahead, but not too far, you know.
Yeah, totally. Don't
But
get
yeah,
ahead of
if
yourself.
I could give you one answer, I'd say Falls Festival, like a good spot at Falls would just be insane for us.
Well, it seems like you guys are really about people and community, so it makes sense that festivals are kind of where you want to head. Totally. All right. I'm sorry to do this to you, man, but I've been suffering. It's +4 time.
I knew that was coming. I had a feeling once you accumulated half the deck of cards there that you might have one or two
Probably
of
have
those
something
floating
good
around.
going. You'd hope. Oh, thank goodness. Do you play a +4 and +4?
Yeah, but not a +2 and a +4. That's just
Oh, no.
too far.
Too far, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. So, when we talk about gigging, is there a favourite one that you've done so far?
Yeah, well, our single launch for our first song, Pilot, was really great. Honestly, I don't think it was the biggest like show we've ever done, but everyone there was kind of so into it. Like we had friends we knew and people that we didn't know. Like the energy there was just crazy. Like everyone was sort of like putting it all up for us and we're giving it straight back, sort of thing. And yeah, definitely our single launch would have to be my favourite.
That's so good. So you're the lead singer of the band. So do you think there's like a go-to karaoke song you have to recommend to our audience?
I think mine would be the same as a good 50% of the people in this country, but Working Class Man by Jimmy Barnes.
Oh, can't go wrong with Jimmy.
Every time it comes on, every time, I can't help myself. Neither
That's
can
a
anyone
good
at the table,
one.
really. And
That is a good one. I love that.
that's when the notes stop getting hit and it just becomes the all-out screaming fest with everyone. Sort of.
Oh, that's the joy of karaoke. Don't do a good job.
Yeah.
Don't do a
The
good
worse, the
job. No
better.
one wants
Yeah,
to listen to
100%.
that. Absolutely. All right. I'm waiting for you to put down a card. I've chosen red.
Oh,
How are we
is it
doing?
my turn?
It's your turn.
That's how vigilant I am.
We're too invested in the chat.
Yeah. Just have to, nothing major, but
Oh.
just leave that there.
I hate to do this to you, but I actually don't.
Oh.
+2. We said we're able to do it. We've established the house rule. I'm making a comeback here. I'm doing okay. I'm kind of
Honestly,
proud of myself.
that's more than a comeback. We've sort of switched
Swapped.
situations. That's why you know the great game. It's
Truly.
It could go forever, really.
Absolutely. Do you have a favourite line in the songs that you've written that you'd want to share with us? Obviously, you've only released Pilot, but is there anything in Pilot or in the backlogs you're waiting to release?
Sort of a harder sort of question because we've got so many good ones that we love, and that's one thing about our songs that we really like is pretty much every line in the songs has a meaning. You know,
Yeah.
it's not a lot of we don't really put stuff there just for like to hold the place.
Yeah, no filler.
But if I could pick one just for the story of it, it would have to be in one of the new songs that we're getting started on recording tomorrow.
Oh, exciting.
It's called, we've settled on the name Tuesday, and I remember doing the demo on a Tuesday and like having a few too many drinks, and I thought of this line, and I was like just kind of singing stuff in my head to put on the instrumental, and I was like, oh, another big night on a Tuesday might be the death of me. And I remember being so like happy with the line and going in and telling Jaden, our lead guitarist, who was just sitting there.
Yeah.
And I remember him like looking at me and saying something along the lines of, "That's the worst verse I've ever heard." How did you come up with that?
Oh no! So did it make it in?
Yeah, well, because I persisted that it actually wasn't, and it was good. And so after a while, it grew on everyone. And I remember him saying, I actually like this now. And so I was like, yeah.
Oh, how
yeah,
good.
you do.
That's it. Persistence is key. Absolutely. That's so fun. That sounds like, a good time to be discussing lyrics. I'm really keen to have a listen to that new one that you've got coming up. But we've already touched on it. West Envy have just released their first single, Pilot. And then we're going to have a promo soon for the Game Store Tactics. Let's give them a watch.
Then I'll come around, baby. Feels like I'm running the world maze, looking for someone else to take the blame, yeah. That's why I'm haunted by my own mistake. Finally come back, and now the corners are turning black. These days I'm going crazy, and I know, just please don't say yeah. Another step, then I'll come around, baby. That's flowing through my mind. Sometimes I stop and think I'll go a little crazy. Wake up, keep living in space-time, running through my head free until I'm dead. These days I'm going crazy, and I know, just please don't say yeah. These days I'm going crazy, I know, just please don't say yeah. I stayed you away, and now that feeling I'll be chasing. Little sad 'cause I see my friends faded, and I'm not bad, I'm just sitting here gazing at the sun.
Tactics is a games and hobby store located in Perth in Western Australia. And we sell all sorts of games and hobbies, from role-playing games, board games, through to miniature games, and kits and collectible card games as well. We've got everything. We try to stock everything that you need to do the gaming. We try to make it so you don't have to. If you don't want to go and just buy a little bit here and there on the internet to supplement, we like to have everything that people would need here in one shop. We have a high level of expertise, so when customers come in, we're able to help them with all the various products that we sell and guide them to the best thing that they can buy. I got involved in a game called Talisman, and then Hero Quest, and then Dungeons and Dragons, and from there, as I've grown and the hobby's grown, I've just picked up more and more gaming as I've gone on. Games provide some form of escapism in terms of role-playing games. They're creative, they keep your mind going, they can be tactical, mathematical, strategic, and also they're very social, of course. There are solo player games, but mainly in the physical space, they're designed to be played amongst other people. So I think that's why they're always relevant, because you always got friends and people who you want to game with, and you always want to exercise your mind. Gaming generally is a small group activity, but in order to get into gaming, you have to go out and meet people. And in that way, you get to know a lot of people as you try the various different groups and the various different games. Our most regular event is our Friday Night Magic. Magic the Gathering is a collectible card game of dueling wizards. But in addition to that, we also run Magic at other times. We occasionally host some Dungeons and Dragons and some board games. We have a regular paint day on Saturdays where people come in and paint miniatures using our paints. But mainly the space is open for anyone to use at any time. It's free, it's clean, you're near to the games in the middle of the city. The games world is quite wide and varied, but I tend to think that most people have a pull towards a particular thing. The important thing is to identify what that is and try and get some other people who you maybe know already who play that kind of game, or of course put out the feelers and try and find them. Some people are just natural role players, some people gravitate towards board gaming, and other people are arty types and like painting. It doesn't mean to say you can't do all three, but generally most people will have a draw to them to go to one particular type of, one particular part of the hobby. Our best selling product is probably Magic the Gathering. People can buy that in little dribs and drabs or in large amounts, so for any kind of purchase it's available for people. Games Workshop products are also a big seller here. The Warhammer universe, both the fantasy and the science fiction version. Those would be the two absolute biggest sellers. Dungeons & Dragons is quite a big seller, but it really is secondary to, say, Games Workshop or Magic the Gathering, for instance. And although we do sell a lot of board games, that's quite a fragmented market. Everything from Scrabble and Monopoly all the way up to some monster war games, very niche as well. Overall they sell quite well, but each individual part of that market is quite a small seller in comparison to Magic and Warhammer. Tactics is at 119 Barrack Street in the middle of the city. It's just outside the Murray Street Mall. You head east out of the mall and turn left, you'll find Tactics just around the corner.
That was amazing to take a look into Tactics. Who knew that Uno had a sequel, Dose? That's news to me. Very cool. I wonder how you play that one. So, Riley, congratulations on releasing your first single.
Thank you.
That was so catchy, so good. I was telling you while I was listening to it, that was amazing. Releasing your first single is such a huge moment for your band.
Yeah.
How's it feel to have a single out in the world?
It's good. It's really good. We kind of got like the first like wind of it where we're like kind of really around it and stuff, but after a while it just goes to like what's next. I think, as I said before, we're in the studio tomorrow. We're actually recording another 2 this month, and we're gonna have an EP out by the end of the year. And so we're always sort of like making new plans, and as soon as the old ones are done, it's like, yeah, you get a little bit of this is really sick, and then it goes straight back into, all right, like what's next? What's next year's plan, or what's the next batch of songs that we're gonna go and record and things, and because we always keep pretty busy with gigs and shows and stuff, and so yeah, it's exciting, but at the same time, we sort of try and ground ourselves and always just focus on what's coming next.
Yeah, totally. Well, game's heating up. Again, I don't really hate to do this to you, but I've got another one. +4.
That sucks for you, I guess.
No! Oh, awful. I can't believe I've done this. All
Don't
right.
hate the player, hate the game.
That is how it goes. All right. So I'm sure we're all interested. What inspired Pilot to be your first single?
Well, it's a funny story of that one. It's literally our first song that we ever made together. And the demo name that we had for it was creative excellence in the name. It was called First Song.
Yeah. Nice.
And I was playing it to like all the boys, and one of the boys, shout out Reef if you get to watch this, was like, why don't you call it Pilot? You know, like a pilot
like a TV
episode.
show. Yeah.
And because the song was about sort of flying away from home, and kind of like doing your own thing, but missing like your friends and stuff that you grow up with, and watching your friend group sort of get a little bit smaller and smaller and stuff, and you see your friends kind of less and less, but the end of it, it sort of revolves around like it's okay, you know, like you do what you do for a reason, and that's what it's kind of about, yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that double meaning as well, like pilot for a plane when you leave things, but then pilot for
Yeah,
the first
it's
song. That's really
we
cool.
love the double entendres in our songs.
Yeah,
we do it
very
a lot.
good.
We even it's kind of just becoming instinct at this point. We just
Yeah, that's so great. I love that. So, who would you consider some like real inspiration and influences on your songwriting and music?
well, we all sort of have different main inspirations that we grew up listening to. Harry, our drummer, absolutely loves Nickelback.
Nice. Honestly, underrated.
Yeah.
Tell me you haven't
It's
listened
an
to Photograph and
unpopular
enjoyed
opinion,
yourself.
but he sticks to it. He rides with Nickelback like every day of the
I
week.
respect it.
Mine, as I said before, I think would be Pearl Jam would have to be probably like my biggest sort of influence. And Jaden, our lead guitarist, loves Arctic Monkeys. Like,
Yeah, cool.
he actually has an Arctic Monkeys tattoo on his arm.
Oh,
So
yeah.
maybe we should send that to them and ask if we can be put on support for them.
That'd be good. Tag him in something for sure.
Moshi, our bassist, is just more of like a Nirvana guy. He's sort of into that like 90s rock and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And-
Sounds like a really eclectic mix. What's not eclectic is the colour you're going to have to choose for the next card to go down.
Oh,
You
I
only get
forgot.
to pick
I actually
one.
had to do that, yeah. I'm going to have to go yellow.
Yellow? All right. Well, you get to put down. I had to pick up.
Oh, really, do I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually not as good at uni as I thought. I don't even know the rules
Just a bit out of practice, getting rusty.
Yeah.
We'll have to pull out dose next time you come, see if you're better at that. So how did you and your bandmates meet then? You all seem to have really different influences
Yeah,
that you've come from. How did you all find each other and start the band?
Well, three of us are originally from Gelton. If you don't know where Gelton is, that's 5 hours north of here.
Good old Jero.
Yeah. And so we used to jam at Harry's house back then, and then we've all got like at least a year between us, and then so Jaden was the first to move for uni, and so he moved, then Harry moved, then I moved, and then I was like, I need to, because I sort of moved for sort of the sole purpose of like getting in a band and studying music and stuff. And I spent ages on like band pages and things advertising for like band members until it just like randomly hit me. I was like, wait, my entire old band is just like in this place. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah,
So I
make the
messaged the
most of
boys
it.
and then we started jamming and stuff like that. And then we went through a few different bass players until we found John Moshi, the
Yeah.
legend, the man, the myth. And he's pretty much the same. He's from Broome, which is North Jarrow pretty much.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so
right.
he gets it, you know, like. And yeah, so that's how it sort of originated, kind of with us three, and then we got Moshi on the crew after a while.
cool.
Harry actually found him at a wine tour of all
Yeah,
places.
of all places. How funny.
It was just kind of, he just
like-
asked him, do you want to join a band? And Moshi was like, yeah, dude. And yeah.
Very
yeah,
organic.
that's
Like a
yeah.
band meet cute. I love it. So let's have a look at this game. It's your turn. How many cards have you got left? I'm drowning in them.
Yeah, I'm not doing much better, to be honest. I've got 7, so exactly what I started with, but I'm about to have 6.
All right. 10 turns into 9. Oh, my goodness. Slowly but surely, I'm gonna make another comeback. I can feel it. So with Pilot being your first single, can you tease any info about that EP you said you had coming up later in the year?
Oh, well, yeah. So we're into getting started on the recordings at Golding Studio. Shout out Ryan Brennan, absolute legend. And yeah, so tomorrow that is actually, and so Harry's gone in to do drums. And then we're going to record all the instrumental and vocals at our good friend Josh Trindle's house. Shout out to him as well, legend. He's been such a massive help for us kind of in our journey. And all of the South Summit boys, big shout to them, you know, like they've helped us a lot coming up sort of thing. And yeah, so Josh in particular recorded and produced or co-recorded and produced with Ryan Pilot, and he is doing our next tour as well. And he's an absolute wizard on the desk, you know, like he knows what he's doing. And
yeah, it's good to have a good producer behind you, especially for your debut stuff.
But yeah, any info I guess I could spill is it'll be out in August sometime.
All right, August sometime. You've heard it here first.
Release 1 and then wait a little bit, record another 2, and then sort of release that one, wait a bit.
This is juicy info, but we're running out of time, so I'm going to have to
sorry,
wrap up.
I'm babbling here.
Sorry. I told you, licensed to yap, but I'm going to have to say goodbye to our audience. I've so appreciated having you on the couch and playing Uno with me. Winner or loser, I feel like with our half a deck each, we might both be losers, but thank you for tuning in to House Rules this week. I've been your host, Rebecca Collin, and I can't wait to see you next week.